I just want to share a couple things with you right quick. I got a few notes, so I might make a few mistakes on it. So just bear with me here. Um, COVID-19, instead of trickle down economics, this was a trickle up economics. Um, it was in a sense, a stimulus package for the very rich, and I try to explain it the best way I know how to explain it. But in order for capitalism not to crumble, you got to have three classes of people: rich, middle class, and a poor. Without that, it will crumble. And so you always got to come up with a way to keep that rich, the poor, and the middle class, to, in order for capitalism to survive. The middle class is going to pay all the taxes. The working class, the poor don't have the money to pay it, and the rich somehow or another seem how to get a way to get out of it. But that's the way it goes. So therefore, um, the burden falls on the middle class, which we all already know. So I'm gonna try to explain this trickle up economics. The government did give us some money, what, 1,200, some 600, or whatever they gave for the stimulus package for the COVID. It wasn't enough to really to get us over the hill, but it was enough to keep us, surviving above water, which is good. I'm not complaining that it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. But you got to remember, most people was going without, and they said that they couldn't put you out the house, couldn't turn your lights off. So therefore, all that money went right back into the system, right back up to the top, straight back to the top. Now, why did it go straight back up to the top? Because most of your middle class wasn't even working. They was pushed out. All the moms and pops jobs was well, like I said, all of them, a lot of them was tore down. The people that was had decent businesses was pushed almost into bankrupt. Why? Because this middle class decent businesses was about to come into the upper class, and you can't have everybody in this upper class. So therefore, they got to come up with a way to push everybody down into a middle class and back into a poor class, to cause the ones that had successful business to get back out and start back laboring and start back working. So therefore, all the money came out of the middle class into the poor class, that may go back up to the top elite class. And guess who's going to pay for it? The middle class. So that's why I'm telling you, this corona stimulus, was just a stimulus package for the rich to put more money. It was an undercover, sneaky tactic, but the rich got a lot of money out of it. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm grateful for the money. I just want you to know what's going on around you. And ICE was picking up a lot of the people, a lot of the illegals, they say, and some was working. They were raiding people's jobs. They might have been illegal, but why were they raiding the people's jobs to get them from off jobs and send them back? But after raiding them, you still got to find somebody that got to do that work. So if they can push that middle class back down into that lower class, they're going to have to do the same work for less money, because they want to take care of their family, that the illegals was doing, or the ones that was working for $5, $6 an hour. You know the system, how it goes. That's the Americans' big downfall. Nobody want to pay anyone for working, and that's been the whole system ever since slavery. Nobody want to pay anyone. They got slavery, then after the slaves we got free, they went to illegal, well, the Mexican migrant workers, to be able to finish that system. That way, one stay on top, one stay in the middle. But everybody was becoming successful. But I'm not a Trump supporter, but I like to say what's right. And I gotta kind of go along with Trump on this one here. He defined everything. He won't wear no mask. He's trying to show the people that this drug, this chlorophyll, whatever it is, it works. He can do only so much because, number one, this is above his pay grade. He can't kick against the system. You know, Kennedy kicked against the system, and Kennedy was assassinated. He can't kick against big money, even though he does have money. But you can't kick against the amount of money that will be made from this sale of a vaccine. But you know, so he got to do, you know, little as he can. But kicking it, he ain't following no guidelines. You know, and he's been telling you that we can beat this thing, and he been openly defying this guidelines of the CDC and all this here, because he understand that there's something out there. And come to find out, we got people saying that now that this thing can be easily beat. You know, some saying aspirins and penicillin or some kind of psyllin for bacteria. It's not a virus, it's a bacteria. I don't know how true that is, but I kind of go along with it because a bacteria can rise in the heat and the cold. It can survive either one of them. But if it's a bacteria, it has to be killed with some kind of amoxicillin, penicillin, some kind of something, whatever you want to call it. These big words. I guess I ain't no doctor, no lawyer, but there's something wrong with this sense that the rich is going to get richer, and they have just gypped. Now, don't get me wrong, the coronavirus is dangerous. It's killing people, but they taking advantage of it. Some people somewhere is taking advantage of it. The deaths, we know what the hospital was getting for the death. I think it was $30-something thousand to be treated if you die with COVID, and $13,000 if you get treated for COVID. So it's a lot of money being made. But guess where that money is coming from? It's coming out of the middle class. The poor can't pay it, and the rich ain't gonna pay it. So this is why I'm calling it a trickle up economics. They want to act like they're giving it to the poor, knowing all the time it's going straight back up to the rich. And who's gonna foot that bill? The working middle class. And it's gonna push a lot of the middle class back down into the poor class. And the whole thing is to keep what you call capitalism, this capitalism system, operating. You know, I'm not knocking capitalism. I'm not supporting communism or socialism. I'm just giving facts. In order for this capitalistic system to stand, you got to have a rich class, a middle class, and a poor class. And too many of you middle class people was getting up there with the rich class, and they got to come up with a way to push you back down there so you can keep that poor class. So the people down in the poor class and the middle class will be fighting over these $5, $9, $12 hour jobs, while the rich keep getting richer. And they know that we can't live up off it. But if they can take away that middle class income and push you back down there, that means they can how would I say it? They could have 300 people fighting over a $15 hour job. And so if you don't like what they tell you, you can go on. We got 299 more that want that position. And we'll be fighting over there because we want to provide for our family. But these guys are smart. They know what they're doing. Hey, I'm just an average citizen. But I just want you to open your eyes to what's going on. Y'all be careful out there. And like I said, I ain't trying to run for nothing. I don't want to be nothing. I just want you all to be aware when, like I said, when God began to show me different things and open up stuff, you know, because I'm always meditating. And I like to share it with people, whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong. You can always question me. You can always hit me back up and say, hey, you may have a point here. Let me look at it. Even send me some more information on it. But this is what this COVID-19 was, a trickle up economics, a real slick way to help get more money into the hands of the rich.